your stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace of spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
You're welcome, Unique. All right, everyone, that is it for the free list for tonight. Thank you guys for posting your questions. I know I've been a little MIA in terms of free reads these last couple of weeks. I'm doing my best. We are going to go ahead and get started on donations. So that is first up, Philomena. For everyone else, donations are open and there's not too much of a wait right now. I can't say that that's how it's going to be the whole night. Philomena, if you're here, feel free to drop your question for me so that way we can go ahead and get started. Is Philomena in the room? Thank you for being here, by the way, Luna. I just want to let you know that since you mentioned being a little MIA, oh, you're welcome. I know it's been crazy lately, but I'm hoping to get back and just being able to be a little more consistent with being present over here. I think it's just having to cut back on the free reads a little bit more, which kind of sucks. I know because like everybody enjoys the free readings, but I'm having to do more like online reading or offline readings, and then if I'm online, then I can't guarantee free reads every single time. That might change at some point, but I just have to kind of go with how life is taking me right now. Hey, Philomena. I'm ready for your question when you are. I feel like being sick in the summer is just weird. Like it low key feels slightly worse. Well, Amy, I think making sure that you're getting sunshine, getting out in the nice weather, fresh air. And I saw your question earlier about do I have any recommendations for stuffiness? I don't. Um, that's typically something I don't really deal with too much. Even with allergies, I deal more with like itchiness or like congestion in terms of like chest congestion. Stuffiness, I really don't have an issue with. Um, they have like those breathe right strips, and um, in terms of like a homeopathic option, I'm not quite sure. I think it's just got to run its course, unfortunately. You could try like a humidifier, but a lot of times that stuffiness is like in your nasal passages, like up high. So it's like inflamed, maybe like anti inflammatories, possibly. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Dang. All right, Philomena, this is for you. I'm shuffling now. Amy, I will say when I got so it was like a couple of years ago, probably like a little over 2 years ago, I had like the worst sickness of my life. It was going on for well over a month. You might even remember because I wasn't really able to work that much. And I ended up having to get on antibiotics because it's just like my body was having a hard time recovering. My vitamin D was extremely low. Like I was not only deficient in vitamin D, I was like negative vitamin D. So if that's even possible. And if I got sick, it was just always really, really bad. And I have been taking vitamins every single day and every single week since then. And I've been really good, which is why I'm saying it's important to get your levels checked. You should probably go to the doctor and just let them run blood work to see what you're deficient in, because that is going to change everything for you. When you get sick, you shouldn't be like completely down and out like that. It just means your body is lacking something in order to help you recover, you know? Like you should never get that sick, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's autoimmune or it's like a vitamin deficiency. So just keep that in mind. You shouldn't have to get that sick when you do. And you really shouldn't get sick multiple times a year either. Like, I barely get sick anymore. It's been a couple of years since I've been sick. So just because it's that time of year doesn't mean that that should be happening if you have the right nutrition, you know? Philomena, I have a relationship coming for you. We have the Four of Wands. So this is like taking the next step with someone into a relationship, building a foundation with that person. We also have the Two of Cups, which talks about partnership, you guys being really compatible with one another and feeling like this is balance. This is what I was looking for. This person wanting to kind of show you off, take you to events, basically say like, this is my person, this is the person that I'm with. So I definitely see a relationship coming for you. I feel with the Page of Swords here, you kind of been dealing with people who just really aren't able to take you to the next level. Like I feel like for whatever reason you feel like something is missing. Like you're just kind of waiting for that moment for someone to come along and just be checking all your boxes. And I feel like what you've been dealing with up until then is just like almost people or not quite people, or maybe you have interest in them, but they're letting you down, or you're not as into them as they are into you, that kind of thing. The Page of Swords does indicate there is someone around you that is curious about you, inquiring about you. But again, it's a page, so I don't think this is your person. So if there could be someone around you that is interested, that is trying to get to know you, watch you, be observant of you, taking interest in you, but I don't think this is your person. But I think this is someone that you already know. So if you have, basically what I'm getting is it's important, Philomena, for you to not settle. Like don't just, because what's going to happen is you probably, if you do settle right now, you probably will prolong this relationship coming in for you. So basically, if this person or these people that come through for you in the next couple of weeks just aren't quite hitting, that's okay. Just don't dive fully in with this person, because you don't want to prolong the relationship aspect that's coming for you. I truly think that even in the next couple of weeks, even into maybe like the first week of June or something, there could be like a secret admirer that pops up, someone just basically showing interest in you as well. And I feel like it's never a problem for you, Philomena, to have people that are interested in you crushing out on you. I think the problem is meeting a substantial person. And I think that that's what's coming for you this summer. I still have this summer. We've got lots of cups going on here, but they're showing me that you have lots of options, that you, and by options, I don't mean quality options, but I mean there are a lot of people who have interest in you or crushes on you, and even some that you might not even know about yet. So basically, I feel almost like, what am I trying to say? I feel like you're in like a store, okay, and you're trying on different outfits, and some look good. One looks good, but you're like, I'm not really sure where I would wear this. It's cute, but I don't really know like if this is worth buying. And then something else, you're kind of like, it looks okay, but I don't like this part. And then it's like you're looking for like the right dress. So basically, Spirit is saying like, try these men out the way that you would clothes. And if it's not working, if there's a certain part of it that you don't like, then don't get it. Basically, just be very picky right now. Be very, very picky right now. Use your best judgment, your own discernment, because I feel like there is something really powerful that's coming for you, but I don't want the other distractions to get in the way. But what they're saying is try it on for size. Don't like block your blessings either. So I see here where you said one of your Facebook friends asked you on a date, but you don't know. There's nothing wrong with going on a date with this person. Maybe this is the person we're talking about that you'll enter into a relationship with. Give it a chance, try it on for size, basically. But if something's not working, or just it doesn't quite feel right, that's okay too. That's okay too. Just move on to something else. Because I feel like this connection, this serious relationship is coming for you, and it's coming fast, and it feels very strong, and it feels like a mutual affection for one another. And so basically, Spirit's just saying that if you're in a place where you feel like something is off or something just isn't quite right, not your own fears or insecurities, I'm talking about the person just doesn't feel like they're aligning with your energy. You feel like the person, there's something missing in the connection, or you feel like the person doesn't want the same things that you do. That's what I'm talking about. Then it's okay. Just move on from that person. But also don't let your fears get in the way either of something that could be good, because one thing they had said is she can't block her blessings. We're sending men her way. She needs to try them on for size. She will know when she knows. It's just going to be a feeling that you have that you're going to just be like, all right, this is the one. You know what I mean? Hey, Mystic, I'm doing good tonight. How are you? Oh, nice. Mystic, you'll be next after Philomena, okay? But Philomena, if you're asking me if you should go out with this Facebook friend, I think you should. I think you should just date basically whoever you find even a little interest in, and just see what happens, see where it goes. Let a nice guy take you out for dinner. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're feeling uncomfortable about the situation, or your intuition is like, this feels unsafe, then I think you should listen to your gut. However, if you just aren't sure if this is a good match for you, you're never going to know unless you interact with this person in person and spend some time with each other. So, Philomena, that is what I have for you. But before I move on, I want to make sure there's nothing else that you want to donate for or add on for. If we're all set, then I'll move on to Mystic here in just a second. Just let me know. Said I don't want to put my energy into the wrong people. I think that that's like a very common misconception that people feel as if they give someone the time of day that they're giving them their energy. As long as you're not putting all of your eggs in this person's basket and you're not fantasizing about the future and you're not like putting all of your hopes and dreams into this one person, then you're not putting your energy into the wrong person. You're literally just living life and experiencing something new. I think that a lot of people will meet someone and they jump the gun. They immediately go to, what will this be? What will we turn into? What's the future going to be like? Are we going to get into a relationship? And it's like, it's just dinner. It's just dinner. So don't worry about putting your energy into this person. You're just giving them your time. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not putting everything into this and all of your hopes and dreams into this, then you're not going to feel disappointed because you're basing your opinions off of like fact, because it's just a night out with this person. So I understand your hesitancy and I understand your guardedness, but when I say you won't know until you try, you won't know until you try. So you just have to put yourself out there. And sometimes there'll be flops, sometimes it's not going to work, but it's not going to emotionally break you. So you're literally giving someone your time. Let them pay for your dinner and see where it goes. But again, Philomena, if you're not having a good time, if this person's just giving you the ick or something's not clicking, then one and done. Thank you for your time. This was a great dinner. Have a great life. Moving on to the next person. Mystic, if you want to go ahead and drop your question in the chat, we'll get started in just a second. Bless you, baby. Philomena, if there's anything else you want to add on for, just go ahead and send and drop your question in the chat. But for now, I am going to move on to Mystic and answer her question. But if that's everything, I hope that did help, Philomena. All right. So Mystic said, how did Christian view me today? I know, me either. I'm confused too. All right. How did Christian view Mystic today? It looks weird because he looks like a cartoon, but this game doesn't look like a cartoon, so it's confusing me.
It's on purpose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's making look like the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gay.
Oh, okay. Mystic, this is a romantic connection, right? Or like some kind of like workplace crush or something. I have the Two of Cups. So that's making me feel like this is romantic in nature. Even if things have not been confessed or spoken to each other, I'm trying to remember who this person is to you. But a workplace crush. Okay. I was like, I feel like I've done a reading on this guy before, but I was like, I just don't remember. And I'm sorry because sometimes I do so many readings, I just can't remember every single detail. So sometimes you'll have to remind me. I feel like there was a lot of observation that was happening today, like looking at you, noticing you, how you were styling yourself, your hair, your clothes, your makeup, something along the lines of how you were carrying yourself today. Judgment to me feels like um the wanting to clear the air with you, the wanting to like just get things out in the open and say things for what they are. So he could have had some moments of wanting to, I guess, just put it all out on the table, but that might have been more just fantasy rather than actually willing to take action here. Um, but I feel like he feels like he's holding back in some way. Judgment also indicates that there's more watching, if that makes sense, than actual interacting, if that makes sense. So, oh, he got back with his ex. Okay. Well, glad to hear that you are just kind of taking a back seat. That's important. Whatever is going on between the two of them has to run its course if he chose to get back with this person. At the same time, he might feel that this is like unresolved between the two of you, and that might be the tendency to want to clear the air with you, even though he feels that he hasn't done anything wrong. He may feel like he wishes that he could have said what he was thinking or whatever, like when he had the chance. And now, obviously, he wants to be concentrating on his relationship and focusing on that. So I feel like it's more just like watching, more observant. I will say he's probably going to try to keep his distance a little bit because we have the Ten of Swords. So maybe he's feeling like a little weird around you because if he was having, I can't remember what I've said to you about this guy, but if he was having like a crush on you back, it doesn't mean that just went away. It just means that maybe he has more history established with this other person and was like, let me see this through before I try something new. But even still, in some way, he feels like there's something unresolved here between the two of you because he felt like he never really got a chance to like put it all out there and like clear the air, if that makes sense, and like let you know what he was thinking or feeling. But I think in his mind, he's also saying, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I'm still being a good person. I'm still being a stand-up person. Nothing has happened between the two of us. So I'm not going to feel bad. And so it doesn't mean that there wasn't something here. It just means that he decided that the history that he had with his ex was just more established or more substantial than a workplace crush, if that makes sense. And it's just he felt that was something that he needed to see through. But the Ten of Swords also does feel like betrayal or like stabbing in the back. So there could be some aspect of him that felt owed you an explanation, but only because he may have started to develop a little bit of interest in you, may have felt that in return, and then maybe completely did something out of left field that could have been a little bit confusing for you on your end. But again, he's saying to himself, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm starting a new beginning. I'm not betraying anyone's trust or doing anything that's like hurtful to other people, but it's just kind of a complicated situation. I will say I feel him wanting to focus more on his connection. We have the Queen of Swords. So he's kind of focused on this, and the Queen of Swords energy is very like what am I trying to say? Single-minded. They're focused on one thing. They don't want to put all their energy into one thing specifically. So I think that you'll just get from him a little more of the energy of taking a back seat, but maybe noticing you, watching you, but just trying to be a good person and like just honor his relationship that he's currently in right now, if that makes sense. $11.11. Yeah, Mystic, I totally get that. I don't think that he would, because that's not faithful to his relationship. Do you get what I mean? He's not going to open that can of worms with you, even if it's something he thinks about. It seems pointless, but it's something that he's going to have to work out personally with himself. I think the further and the deeper he delves into this relationship that he's reestablished with his ex, I think that, you know, the less and less he's going to worry about this, but it might just feel a little fresh and weird right now. So yeah, definitely let their relationship run its course. I actually don't even like doing readings once I know people are actually in a relationship. I don't like doing third-party readings because it just feels unethical to me. But it sounds like you have a good head on your shoulders and you're being respectful of his decision and just kind of going back to coworker vibes. So I think that's, you know, that's a good thing. Hey, Paola, I'm doing good. How are you, girl? I just want to focus on my job and don't want to involve myself with anyone and miss out on promotions. Yeah, focus on your job. If it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, then it won't. So you can just put your faith in that. You're very welcome. Have a good night, Mystic. Oh, you're doing great, Paola. That's awesome. I love to hear that.
Oh, Finn.
Oh,
No.
Finn. Paola, looks like I used. Oh, yes. Okay, I just got it. And you are actually next because I just wrapped up with Mystic just now. So if you want to drop your question, I'm ready for you. General love for June. Let's take a look here. Paula, do you have an Aries, Leo, or Sag in your life? Getting a lot of fire energy right now for you. Also, Paula, remind me, what is your sun sign? Sorry, I got kicked out of the live. I'm back though. Okay. So, okay, you don't have, oh, okay, well, this is actually fun then, because if you don't have an Aries, Leo, or Sag in your life, I'm seeing a fire sign for you. So this could indicate someone who's got a fire sign in their big three, or this could indicate a stellium. I'm leaning towards a stellium, which means that they have three or more planets in a specific sign. That specific sign is a fire sign. So it just means that they have a lot of fire energy. This person has a lot of drive, a lot of ambition. They follow their passions. They probably don't have a very conventional job. Or if they do have a conventional job, there's something else that they're doing that will eventually take over for them. So I think you're going on a date in June, Paula. I can't really see if it's going to take off to be anything further than that. But the lovers at the bottom of the deck and the Two of Cups does look like a good match. It looks like a good sign. It looks like you guys are compatible in multiple ways. But this is definitely a connection that you're going to want to take slow, because this person has the tendency to move very passionately, very fast, very quick. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed by the passion, if that makes sense, and feeling like it's too much too quick. So just pace yourself with this person, but this person seems like a good person because you don't already have someone in your life like this. This is making me feel like this is something new for you. Like I said, I don't know how far it's going to go, but I think you at least have a date in June with this person. There's some kind of connection that is made, and you guys are spending some time together. Now, depending on where this person lives, and again, I'm not getting any information exactly of like if this person lives in your town or city, or if this person lives far away. I don't know that. But what I think is possible, if you're not hanging out with this person in June, this is kind of like a phone date, or it could be where you're FaceTiming, getting to know one another, and then maybe something more happens in July, if that makes sense. But I definitely feel like you're meeting someone new in June. I think you're going to know who it is, because they're going to be like a fire sign or have a lot of fire in their chart. Or they're going to be someone who's very driven, ambitious. They might be an entrepreneur. They might have an unconventional job, or if they do have a stable conventional job, it may not be like the final thing that they want to do with their life. There may be other things they want to do. I feel like this person can be very athletic. Like they like adventure, they like doing fun things. I feel like this person's very charismatic, very charming. They probably have a lot of friends. And I think generally this person's optimistic. I think they have a side to them where they can be very serious, and then they have a side to them where they can be kind of fun and youthful. And so you kind of get both sides. But like I said, it feels compatible to me. I don't know how far this is going to go, but I think it's new, and I think it's getting itself off the ground for you in June, okay? So the King of Wands energy is definitely boss energy. It's the card of leadership. So this person wants to reach the top. So they either want to start their own business so that they can be the boss, or they're extremely driven and they will do everything they can to be promoted. So I feel like this person would never settle not being at least a manager or a supervisor or an executive or something like that. So I feel like they're either a partner in a business, or they own a business, or they're working their way up to the top of the company, if that makes sense. I just feel like with this energy, this is a person who doesn't want to be told what to do. So they feel like if they are working for themselves, or they're a higher up. The other thing about this energy too is they're driven, but they're driven because they have a goal in mind. And that goal is to be financially free and eventually do like the least amount of work. This person, I don't think likes to get their hands dirty. They're not like a work with their hands like type of person. I feel like they might be maybe more like a realtor where you have to dress really nice. They might be an artist and sell their art for like high prices. I feel like this person that's coming through is very driven by money. And so if they're not in that place right now in their life, that's where they want to go. They're very focused on the goal is what I'm getting. Paula, I have another donation, but before I move on, let me know if there's anything else you wanted to add on for. But if that answers your question, then I will move on to the next. You also love money. Who doesn't? Hey, Nat. I have you for a mini, so if you want to drop your question below, I'll be right with you. You're welcome, Paula. Have fun in June. You're welcome, Paula. David reached out today wondering if he wanted to know if he was blocked or if he really meant what he said. I wish he would have seen you today. Did he mean what he said? Did he mean what he said? Did he want to know if he was blocked? Yeah, he's looking for reconciliation with you, Nat. He meant what he said. I am getting a yes that he meant what he said. We have the strength card. But he also wanted to know if he was blocked. He wanted to see if the energy was clear for him to communicate with you. So I think it was a little bit of both. And the reason I say that is because I have the 6 of Cups, and this is talking about reconciliation, reunion. So he was serious about wishing that he could have seen you today. What I will say, because I don't know much about the situation, is that I don't like that the ball is in his court. I feel like you have a good handle on it because I feel like you have a firm hand when it comes to him, and I feel like you make him work for your attention. But I feel like he doesn't realize that I feel like he has a little, how do I explain this without like coming across weird? I feel like he has a little more power over you than you like to let on. So I feel like it's important that he if he calls you today, that he's not seeing you today. I feel like I need this person to make a little bit more effort with you, okay? I want him to be making plans days in advance, so that way you don't feel like a matter of convenience or like a last minute thought after he's gone through everyone else, that, you know, or feeling as though like you're waiting on him to make the plans. Like, I want to see this person putting a little more effort into this. I think that what he wants to see and what I think he's testing out, Nat, is how accessible you are going to allow him to be with you. So for instance, if he calls you tomorrow and is like, hey, want to hang out in a couple hours? No, sorry, I'm busy. You're going to have to make plans with me a little more in advance than that. I feel like he just needs to know what the parameters are, what the boundaries are. And even if you want to see him and even if you want to hang out, if he really wants to spend time with you, he'll take that as a hint and he'll start making plans a little bit further in advance. I think you have to set the precedent. You have to set the scene, the temperature, whatever, with this guy, because I think while he is being honest and he is being truthful, he is testing it right now. He's testing how like accessible you are to him, and like how late in the day can I make plans with her and she'll still say yes. Like, and that also is important for you as your own confidence and your own empowerment and things like that, that this person is, you know, communicating with you in advance. You know, this person thought about you days ago and wanted to see you. So that's important to keep in mind. With that being said, I think with the death card, this could be a, what's the word, transition. Like, you could be seeing, as long as you are setting the right precedent, I feel like you could see some changes in the dynamic of this connection where you feel like you have a little more say. I understand that you said you are attracted to each other, but you're not together. I just basically want to see this person making a little more effort, being a little more determined. You got a mini reading, so that I pull 5 cards for that, and 4 out of the 5 are major arcana. So if you're not familiar with that, there's only 22 major arcana cards in a 78 card deck, and it's very rare that this many major arcana come out in such a small reading. And usually that indicates major life themes. When I see a lot of major arcana in any reading, but especially a mini reading, it tells me that this connection is important for you, whether that's a lesson that you have to work through and it's important for your own personal growth and journey, or that this person and you have something significant to experience together. So just keeping that in mind, I just want to make sure that you're still making him work for it and that he is showing you the effort that you deserve. So I feel like, to answer your question, yes, he wanted to know if he was still blocked. He wanted to know if he had access to you. But I think that he also does enjoy your company. And I think he meant what he said, and that he was looking for some type of reunion with you. So I think you can expect with this energy for him to try again, for him to reach out to you again, to see you or spend time with you. Again, I just hope that it's not like a last minute thing where you drop everything to be with him. I hope it's something that's a little more planned on his part, a little more thought out on his end, if that makes sense. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. But I mean, otherwise, I think his approach was genuine. I think you can believe him if that's what you're wanting to know. Yeah, don't like last minute stuff. You're more important than that, you know? Like, you deserve someone who's not thinking of you last minute, someone who's like anticipating seeing you for a few days or a week or something like that. Just testing the water. Exactly. He's just testing things out. You're welcome. I think he was expecting for you to invite him. Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, like, be a little more forward. Like, your time is precious, Nat. Your time is valuable. And if he's not going to make the effort, there is someone else that will. And I just don't like, not in 2025, I just don't like seeing people settling for the bare minimum. This isn't like 2013 around here where people are just like making plans last minute, willy nilly. Like, I think it's important that someone is making a valiant effort to pursue you and make you feel like you're the most important part of his week. And I don't feel like you get that when it's a last minute plan. Yes, exactly. You got it, girl. You're welcome, Nat. Well, even if he did ask, you could say, sorry, bud, I'm booked and busy. You're gonna have to make plans a little bit further in advance than that. That would tell him what he needs to hear. Have a good night, girl. Later. It's so perfect. You're a fae creature.
My fae creature?
Yeah.
What is that?
You know, like changelings and like gnomes, and it's basically like an elemental, okay? But yours is actually perfect for you. Are you ready? A leprechaun. How- what?
That's racist.
No, literally, your beard looks exactly like this picture. Gold, drunk, and glowing, steals the show, then disappears with your luck. Do you want to know what I am? A changeling, and I look like a gremlin. Wide-eyed and strange, switched at birth, laughs when no one else does. Actually, I do laugh when no one else does. Rachel's a gnome.
Yeah. So we're all little.
We're all little. Knows where you lost it, already fixed it, judging you a little. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That is kind of her. Let's see. Shannon. He's a brownie. I've never heard of that before. Stubborn, steady, and secretly running everything behind the scenes. I can agree with that. Nathan is a puka. It's terrifying. Look at this picture. I know. Wild trickster energy. Checks out. Wrecks your plans. Rachel would agree. Teaches you something anyway. That's true. That is true. Amber is a Dullahan. Cold, headless, and coming straight for you.